Welcome back, Burst users! Here is part 2 of implementing Burst for school leaders. Let's help you get the ball rolling with Burst. Our next step in this module is to determine who will serve as your intervention coordinator. Why do you think we might need an intervention coordinator? Pause the video and reflect. Press play when you're ready to continue. You're probably familiar with the saying, there are too many cooks in the kitchen. When asked about how they run their program so successfully, a kindergarten teacher in Louisiana said, "These issues all tie together. We need somebody coordinating, or else it ain't gonna get done." The schools that get the best results with Burst have concluded that they need one person in charge of coordinating and planning for their team. Without having a coordinating force, they have noticed that they are not able to successfully work through all of the details. Here are some of the intervention coordinator's responsibilities. We have modules that will take the intervention coordinator through each of these steps. Create a launch plan to get Burst going. There will be important details that we will discuss to set up Burst. Determine which students qualify for Burst. So what skill profiles will qualify students for Burst. Then it will group students using the Burst software. Scheduling is ensuring that every group has a time in the day when they meet, a place to meet, and an interventionist to deliver the instruction. Scheduling, progress monitoring, and ensuring that it gets done so that the algorithm can generate the next burst. And helping interventionists troubleshoot any issues. Think about your staff. Who might have these skills to run the show? Our last task today is to choose a start and end date for Burst. How long are your district's test windows? And why do you think it might be in your advantage to set a shorter testing window for your school? Pause the video to reflect. Press play when you're ready to continue. Let me show you how to maximize the runway your students will get to catch up. Here are some guidelines or options that we recommend. Administer your screener as you normally would. We typically recommend for the screening window to last 2 weeks. Once you have your screener results, select which students should receive Burst. Administer the Burst placement test to all Burst students, which typically takes 2 weeks to complete. Then have the intervention coordinator take the next 2 to 3 days to create groups. This also gives a day or two for any makeup assessments for students who are absent. Then interventionists can take 2 days to prep everything they need so that they can get Burst started the following Monday. In short, complete your screener and select Burst students as quickly as possible to get Burst up and running as soon as possible. Select a Burst end date close to the last day of school to maximize students' time in intervention, and aim to complete the Burst placement test within 2 to 2.5 weeks to give the intervention coordinator a few days to group and schedule, and get Burst started no later than 2 weeks upon completion of the Burst placement test. Go to page 7 of your handout to jot down some dates for your screener, Burst placement test, and grouping and scheduling and prepping. This will help you get your start date and end dates down. Here are your next steps. Finish the graphic organizer that you started on part 1 of this module and make sure that you know where Burst will fit in as well as other programs. Pick your intervention coordinator and make sure that everyone at your school knows who this person is. Give the Burst placement test as soon as you've identified who the Burst students will be with your screener. This will give you a long enough runway to serve as many students as possible for as long as needed in the school year. And then share what you've produced with your intervention coordinator and have him or her continue planning out the details to get Burst going. Remember, if you need any support, contact our educator support team here. Thank you for participating in this module.